Welcome to this series called Colab Talks. In this episode, we bring on Min Wu to talk about project-based learning and how you can use that to actually improve your own coding skills. Min is one of the smartest people in Silicon Valley who has worked in tech giants and also serves as a program chair on University of California Extension. By the way, he is also an instructor at Colab. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Hi guys, this is Aakash. So as you saw before, we'll be launching this whole series where we talk a lot of different things about how to use different approaches in learning styles. And today we have Min Wu, one of the instructors with us. He has been an instructor with Colab for a long time. He has been working with different corporations. He has been a teacher for a long time and a lot. And actually, we'd like to hear it from you, Min. So yeah, off to you.
Hey, this is Min. I've been teaching coding for almost 15 years, and from AP Computer Science for high school student and USA Computing Olympia to college level developing skills, let's say front-end development, mobile development, web application testing, etc. And and also I'm a full-time software developer. So I think I know how to excel in coding.
Right.
So to me, go ahead.
Yeah. So no, I was actually thinking about that itself. Like you mentioned that this is one of your biggest interest of explaining and teaching how to excel in coding. Understand these kids about various teaching styles and techniques in bringing this forward. And then actually it sort of brings me it takes me back to this article that you recently published on Colab itself, and that was about how do you use project-based approach specifically in programming? This to sort of increase your skill sets to sort of test and try out different horizons in there. Especially, projects and implementation of projects have been applied for a long time. Since there are like these massive online open courses and these hybrid courses and whatnot. But how is this project-based approach really different? And what sort of could you walk us through the approach and what it is?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'm a big fan of project-based teaching and learning.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I've been teaching coding for 15 years, right? And then I really think teaching it's a skill. You have to keep practicing. It's impossible for you just say, okay, I learned Java and then I don't practice. So if you don't practice for, let's say, 6 months, I'm sure you are going to forget everything.
True.
So that's why you need to keep working, keep doing what you have learned. It's just like you learn a foreign language, right? So let's say, once you learn the basic vocabularies and syntax, you have to practice. You have to, let's say, talk to the native speaker, watch the movies and videos in that language, and you need to put into practice.
True.
Same here. Think about the Java or Python as a foreign language that computers understand, and you have to keep practicing. And then I really think put into the project will motivate the student, and then make them interested in working on those projects and practice their coding skills. So that is that's my thinking.
Correct. I agree to it, because you mentioned this thing of, this analogy of understanding a new language and sort of trying, and because you'll be actually talking to a lot of people, so you need to have a deeper understanding of the overall fundamentals of it. And I think it's very interesting where you touched it, because a lot of these projects that we see with these current online courses, right? They are mostly these mock-ups, and it sort of ends. It has this limitation where it could just be used for a basic learning project, but doesn't give you like a real life in-depth review of how things work, right? Yeah. And I remember like this was back when I was taking like an online course when I was in undergrads. We had this there were a lot of courses. They taught about making a new Snapchat, or there are these courses that helps you make a new Instagram. But like one of the funniest thing is that it just stops right there. It's like it's in a closed ecosystem where only I can access it. and the only feedback I get is from my instructor, or probably like an online journal. But if you really implement this in a fashion which is more provoking for real life experience, which sort of pushes us to take it and launch this project outside of our own bounds and sort of get more feedback, I think we'll have more tangible effect on sort of learning and grasping the skill more easily, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I totally agree with those kind of the project. Let's say you clone Instagram, you make a clone of a TikTok, something like that, right? I think those are cool project ideas, but we want to push it further, right? We want to first make sure that the project should really be along with the syllabus, right?
Right.
So I think good instructors should be able to
Right.
dissect the project into individual pieces and align with individual topics you're going to introduce through the journey of the course.
Correct.
Right. And then once the student, let's say, complete the course, and he or she will also complete this interesting project.
Right.
And then instead of just like you said, right, limited access but to themselves, that be the Colab, we have the idea is we'll make their project available at the internet, so it's public available, and the student can simply show off what they have done to other colleagues, or even if they want to apply for a job, they can show to their potential employers, right?
True.
So
That's correct.
That is idea. And so let me give you an example how to dissect the project into individual pieces. Okay, so let's use AP Computer Science A as an example, right? So this is the latest course description of the AP Computer Science A. As you can see, they have those 10 topic units, right? We have primitive type, we have the object, and the if statement, iteration, for loop, while loop, something like that. And let's say, okay, if we really want to do some interesting project, let's say we want to have the video sharing website. And then let's say we clone YouTube videos.
Right.
So we can simply, I think students should be very interested in that, instead of you have a hand-waving vague project and student does not have really familiar with.
True.
So then let's simply say, when we talk about the videos, right? And then so how we store so it's a data, and we need to store somewhere, and then each video we can introduce this how to write it, because we can introduce this class concept and the object concept, because each video is we can simply have a video class, and then individual video will be the object from that video class. Right?
Oh yeah.
So and then we can, if we have a list of videos, then we can naturally move into this array list, right? Into this array list, and then think about all these features we can work out with video. We can sorting, we can searching. Then it's basically array and the array list manipulation, and that is the sorting and searching algorithm emphasized by AP Computer Science A.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
And then we can talk about, okay, what about in the YouTube? You have those movies and shows, and user can rent and buy. Hey, it's a perfect. We can move on to the inheritance, right? It's not a normal video. Then the user can rent it and then can pay money to buy it, right? So I think as you can see, by align those the project with those topic units, then when the student move on to the individual topics, and we can simply get that piece and let the student work on it, and the student always in the same context, and he understands what is going on. He will be more and more familiar with this project. He will be more and more into this project.
So yeah, I mean, you were actually talking about breaking down YouTube into these components where, which could actually just become like a complete project. But it's really interesting to understand, how would you take such topics and make it into a YouTube project? Because from what I see, this could be very like until now, what I have seen, these are very basic implementations of maybe a code running on a terminal. But it's really interesting to understand and to know, like, how would you redo this and blend it into like a video sharing platform such as YouTube that we were talking about? So please.
Definitely. So one thing I want to emphasize is for the good instructors should be really good at dissect those projects or separate those projects into individual independent pieces, meaningful pieces, and then align with the topics you are going to talk about during the course, right? And then once you finish one topic, you'll ask the student to work on one piece of one aspect of the project. So at the end, when the student complete the course and they complete the project well, they have a total understanding how this project works.
Right.
Give example, right? AP Computer Science A.
Okay.
And this is the AP Computer Science A course descriptions from the latest one from 2020, from last year. If you look at it, they have 10 topic units, right? If we think about YouTube clone or YouTube implementation, I think the main piece will be the video concept, right? So when we talk about the video, and just imagine our experience with a YouTube website. So each video should have its own, let's say, attribute, right? For example, each video should have, let's say, URL, the duration, the title, the author, ratings, number of likes, right? So as you can see, this simply the idea how you can design the class. How can you design the class? So the class will be, the basic class will be you, and then all the individual video will be the object we can create from.
And so sort of
it's a good topic when we good example when we introduce topics and when we introduce classes and objects, right? And then think about a list of videos. Then it's pretty natural that we move into the topics of array and array list,
right?
And then when we talk about the feature, like we want to sort and search those videos, and those are array and array list manipulation, and that exactly the two most important algorithms emphasized by AP Computer Science A, sorting and searching, right? So we can tightly combine those concepts into our project. And then think about each video may have a list of comments, right? Then it's a good opportunity for us to introduce this inter-class relationship, right? We call it composition.
Correct.
A video may compose a list of comments.
Correct. Yes.
And also think about there's a special type of the video, like the movies and shows, so user can rent, user can buy from YouTube. Then it's another inter-class relationship called inheritance, because those are special videos. Then you have to pay for to see, right? So then we move on to the inheritance. So I really think by using this YouTube video project, and we can beautifully align individual pieces into the knowledge topics.
Correct.
And that is how we can make the student really focused, really interested, really motivated on individual classes, on individual pieces of topics we introduced.
True. Yeah, I think so. It completely makes sense. And it's really interesting how you dissected like each of these specific things, because even if you, and these are really primary concepts, like these are very like super basic stuff that's been taught in the high school or maybe initial times when someone starts learning programming or coding. And I could not recall almost any courses that sort of dissects in this style. This sort of tangible effects is too much. I could probably relate, like it's super relatable for me because I see this thing every day in my life, and suddenly I'm actually making this even when I'm just starting to code, so this sort of takeaway for me is massive, I think so, as a programmer. So yeah, totally. I think it's really interesting. So yeah, fantastic. I think it really emphasizes on the synchronicity of the project, right? How everything is chained together, and at the same time things are still independent. So I could pick and play. I could learn. Wow, it's actually fantastic. And I think this is also mentioned in the earlier part of the article that you recently wrote at Colab, and then it sort of goes on into this thing that you mentioned about project warehouses or project repositories, right? and probably we're just doing another episode on that itself. But yeah, so I think one of the biggest takeaways that I would get from this as a new time programmer, as a new time coder who's looking to learn these things, is it shows that programming is not just limited to that small terminal where a lot of things is all about inputs or outputs. If used it, if this tool is used in a more creative way or creative fashion, I think so there's a bigger horizon there which I can explore as a newcomer in this programming game, right?
Yeah, what I'm thinking is like coding can be really boring, right?
True.
So,
Yeah.
but learning coding, I don't want make learning coding as a boring task, right? I
True.
want to bring some fun in it, bring some interesting stuff in it. And I want students to be motivated. And we need to support this effective learning, we need to properly motivate students. Students really want to join the course instead of the parents push them to join the course. Hey, you have to learn this, right? So we want to put some fun there. We want to put some interest there. So yeah, so that is what I'm thinking. And then project-based learning definitely is the right approach.
I agree. Like this, I think so. What you mentioned about the programming being boring, right? There was this movie, I don't recall the name, but it says, just because it sounds boring, it doesn't mean it has to be boring, right? The approach has to be boring. So totally. And actually, rather than, us saying a lot of stuff, I think so this is something that's really fresh and new. And I think so it'll be really interesting for someone to take a peek of and get a taste of this, understand how does this thing move on. So I think Colab does about Colab starting doing demo recently, and in 2022 it starts by giving out these 45-minute demos where Min will actually explain everything, all these things, how it goes through. And in fact, you can work on a small project, like small module. Within those 45 minutes, take a complete tour of Colab, see how everything works, and judge it by yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
So yeah, for those demo sessions, we're not going to, because only 45 minutes, we don't have time to cover the YouTube project. We're going to give you some small project, because I'm a full-time software developer for many, many years. And then based on my experience, right? You just frequently you just need to have those sense of achievement, right? Those sense of achievement will move you forward. And then once you complete this, you say, oh, I can do that. Then I want to try new things, right? So yes, please join our demos, and then let's see how we can use this project and to make you motivated, to make you have a sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement, and so you all be really in love with coding.
Fantastic. Sure. Perfect. I think so. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, and it's been a pleasure. So I think so. I'll see you guys in the next episode where me and Min will be talking about project repositories. We'll actually share how you could actually make multiple assets, multiple projects, having one skill set and sort of building more on that. So this is something that we're really looking forward to, and hope you guys to see in the next one. Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.